partner go at it. Suddenly, a Guilty Gear character casually walks in. He doesn't have magic, he's got a fucking gun.
Of course.
Magic versus guns? What wins? Guns. What beats guns?
America.
You nasty.
Hey, we made this far and you haven't already, drop a sub and channel, drop a like. Full reaction will be here, but also on Patreon, link in the description. GIGGUK reactions coming up next. Yo, what's going on, SOPHIE? Your man behind the cam, director, here with another GIGGUK reaction. This is what happens when anime is real. I have no clue what to expect on this. GIGGUK just dropped the seasonal video, and I also just dropped that one not too long ago. Go check it out in the playlist. I don't know what to expect from this. GIGGUK makes an interesting array of videos in that I don't know if this is going to be an anime review, a seasonal review, a game review, or like some real life article that he's just making a video on. I'm actually kind of concerned only because if it's an anime that I haven't seen yet and I'm supposed to react to. That means I might have to cut this video off and you guys might never see this. But if you're seeing this, that means it's probably something I've never seen and we're probably never gonna do. So we're good. With that being said, yeah, if you guys don't know, I'm on another reaction channel, YABOYROCKLEE. Go peep that because that's what a good anime stuff is. My Patreon has exclusive anime reactions that you'll never see anywhere else, including on this channel, exclusive to Twitch and Patreon. So make sure you check those out. If you see my videos on your homepage, click on them. Yeah, GIGGUK reactions coming up next when the anime is real. Hey, just a quick thank you to all the subs on the channel. You members of the Nasty Cast are the driving force that makes all this possible. Catch Director Nasty on Reddit, Patreon, and all other socials in the description below with links. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks again.
Anime was real.
Oh my god, I just wish it was true.
Shut the fuck up, you weeb. It's rare now to go back to revisit an anime. Do you see how many shows are airing every season? In this day and age, I can barely keep up with what's coming out. And you think I got time to go back and watch shit like The Hero is overpowered but overly cautious?
Wow, Cautious Seal's good, bro.
This? Who still thinks about this? We're all consuming so much media now that even if you enjoyed a show, even if you found something good in the moment, you can't always
might dress up done, call it a night. Comey,
so fast.
he's showing the bangers, bro.
Living rent-free in my mind and refuses to leave even years after it's aired now. A show so unique, so batshit insane, it explored a premise I've never seen in anime before and since. A show that seemingly everyone around me has already stopped talking about and moved on from. So, wanting to know why I couldn't do the same, I tried seeing if it was actually as good as I thought it was, and deserving to stick on in my memory. And upon my rare second viewing, I realized I was wrong. It was so much better.
Really? I wonder what he's talking about.
What would the world be like if fiction became reality?
1秒あれば世界は変わるのだ
This is a question Sota unexpectedly has to deal with when one day he gets transported right into an anime that he's watching. But wait, hold on. He gets transported back and finds out that the anime characters have come with him. So characters from all sorts of anime, games, manga, genres start appearing in the real world and start duking it out. It's an all-out brawl. The fantasy knight starts flying around in our reality. This mage summons Gale back on, except it's got bloody rocket launchers. Fucking appears. How cool is this
Magical
concept?
girl.
Now,
Oh
I know
my
what you're
god.
thinking. GIGGUK talking about another Isekai. Yes. But actually, no. Look, yes, we can keep up the meme and call this an Isekai, but the premise and appeal is not even in the same...
Nah, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Me and YBR, we have this talk all the time. I would put this as an Isekai, but it's a reverse Isekai. It could be an Isekai without being an Isekai. This is technically Isekai. When you have anybody or anything going from one world to another world, Isekai stamp, right? But there's unique levels of Isekai. One that's running right now is the ojisan, uncle from another world. That's a perfect example of it's totally an Isekai, right? It's totally an Isekai, but at the same time, it's not. It's its own kind of Isekai. That's why I'm going to put this in right now, judging by the way he's going. It's an Isekai, but it's its own unique type of Isekai. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
Yes. But actually, no. Look,
yeah, see, yes, but no.
Even call this an Isekai, but the premise and appeal is not even in the same galaxy as your standard Isekai. So no, I don't like this because it's an Isekai. I like it because it's fate. One thing I absolutely
I like it
love
because
is
it's
any
fate. What do you
movie,
mean by
seeing
that?
elements that don't traditionally exist together clash with each other in a story. Like, that was the biggest reason I initially started to get invested in the MCU in the first place. Growing up, I was never massive into superhero movies, and when Phase 1 first released, that's mostly how I felt. Then, Avengers came out, and I was like, wait, I get to see a billionaire engineer fight a Nordic god and a super soldier in the mix?
Now you
Yes.
have my attention.
Hulk aliens blow up New York, and Hawkeye's like, guys, I have a bow and arrow. Then,
Yo.
start seeing the world changing. Governments have to acknowledge the threat of alien invasions. Space travel gets introduced as a normal thing. Doctor Strange comes out. Great. I guess we have wizards now too. Black Panther. Okay, now there's a secret advanced civilization. Thanos invades, and Hawkeye's still like, guys, I still got my bow and arrow.
Still got the bow and arrow, bro.
Better watch out.
Literally.
I'm gonna shoot you with this arrow. It's a really, really sharp arrow. Pew, pew. Magic, space, technology, gods,
Leave him
super soldiers.
alone.
You have all these elements, all coexisting, all coming to head in the same universe. Not as a gimmick, but building off each other for a grander plot. And this is the basis of why I love Recreators so much. This is what happens when you take every cliche genre in anime and crash them into each other. Take a look at this scene. We start off with a magical girl and definitely not Saber arguing ethics with the equivalent of a scheming yandere Isaiah from Durarara. That's going about as well as you imagined. Then, Superior Asuna and a Final Fantasy mage jump in. Negotiations have broken down. Not Saber uses her noble phantasm. It's
Not Saber.
her and Superior Asuna go at it. Suddenly, a Guilty Gear character casually walks in. He doesn't have magic, he's got a fucking gun.
Of course.
Magic versus guns? What wins? Guns. What beats guns?
America.
JoJo stands. A
JoJo stand?
JoJo stand joins the fray in battles by using his stand. Seeing all this violence, the magical girl just wants everyone to get along and decides to join in to try and stop the fighting with the power of friendship and more violence. It's
More violence.
mayhem. And just as you think it won't get any crazier, a giant mech just drops in and... What is happening? You have a fake character fighting a fantasy character, fighting a Guilty Gear character, fighting a Persona character, fighting a magical girl, and in the middle of this, there's just a Monogatari villain causing complete chaos. Seeing Havoc like this is some of the most fun I've ever had as an anime fan, because if you're a weeb who's watched shows with the characters like this in them, how the hell does this not put a smile on your face?
Nah, it's fire. I was sold.
Familiar with the tropes of anime by taking the cliches you know and flipping them into unfamiliar territory. So you may be wondering, why the hell did everyone else forget about this show? That's what I want to fucking know. The most common
I've never
complaint
heard of
about
this
is
show.
that it's just bogged down with too much dialogue because, oh lord, there's a lot of it. The first two episodes open up with a bang. You got giant robots, you got explosions, you got this badass girl playing a gun with a sword like a violin to control other swords, and you're like, oh god, I'm so ready, this is gonna be awesome. Then the next two episodes hits and it's like,
それは私にとってとても重要なことだ。
can we get back to the sword lady fighting the giant Gundam again, please? The first time I watched this, I came in with the expectations that this was just going to be a dumb, fun action romp with anime from every genre. So when there were several episode stints of nothing but just talking, I would honestly just half zone out, waiting for the next action scene. But on my second viewing, because I knew when the action was coming, because I wasn't just anticipating the next big fight scene, I had the chance to actually fully immerse myself to what they were talking about, and I thought, damn. This is actually interesting as hell.
Why he's in the room?
Presenting this wacky concept of, hey guys, what if anime was real? But put serious thought into what struggles would actually exist if characters of fiction could break the barrier to our world. From the biggest effects to the smallest details. Characters that get transported here end up having some sort of sensory overload when they come to our world. The air
That makes
feels different,
sense.
The food tastes more flavorful, colors are brighter. What they experience in their world is only dependent on how much detail their author puts into their work. How descriptive was the orange juice they drank? Did the author deem it necessary to add coffee to their world building? But here, taste, smell, sight, a whole world of sensations they've never experienced is now at their fingertips, and I just thought this was a cool little detail I never would have thought about. But on top of this, Recreators builds on its concept to explore so many interesting ideas, like what if these creations could actually meet their creators? We've seen this before with gimmicky fourth wall breaks, but to fictional characters, meeting your author is essentially meeting your god, the person responsible for all the bad things, all the natural disasters, all Fortnite dances.
I hear the
that ever
music.
exist. How would that make you feel? Would you be happy, in awe, angry, knowing they allowed Sasuke to do this? How would you feel if your god didn't even care about their own story and only did it for money? How would you feel if your god was a pervert and you were only created as an object of sexual desire? How would you feel if you met your gods only to find out they were a devil, knowing that you were a character in a tragedy? Seeing these creations cope with the fact that their god was not a god, but in fact so disappointingly mortal, and their entire lives were just stories played out for entertainment, was an aspect that added so many fascinating angles. Every creation shares a different dynamic with their creator. Some came to resent their creators, some formed a pseudo-parent-child bond, some just chose to ignore it and take a deep puff of some of that good copium. And this took the archetypes these characters were based on in so many interesting directions. Take Mamika, the magical girl. Right in episode 2, we find out magical girls are packing some heat. Her family-friendly magic starts fucking shit up. Buildings are erupting. There are explosions everywhere. She almost kills a guy. People are fucked. Then afterwards, she looks around and is like, oh my god, who did this? You did this. You caused all this collateral damage. What the fuck is collateral damage? She comes from a children's show where there is no violence and every problem is solved by the power of friendship. So when she finds out she can cause serious harm and not all conflicts can be solved by telling people to get along, she's just like,
mental break.
Character that's completely out of her depth, but through these interactions, she starts to learn a new world view. She changes her perspective, changes her approach, realizes the world is more complicated than it is in a children's cartoon, and eventually starts taking actions in a way her original archetype never would have, while still remaining the same core character of wanting to save the people around her. This is something
that's so
interesting. Every creation we see in the show. Alistaria, a righteous fantasy knight understanding a world where justice isn't just black or white. Blitz, a character who has to come to terms that he was created for the sole purpose of suffering. Celestia, Kaniga, Yuya, Magane, character archetypes we recognize are forced into situations we would never usually see them in, and because of that they can slowly change into far more interesting characters than they ever would have got the chance to in their original stories. It's shit like this that had me hooked the entire
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds fire, bro.
Anime characters in real life, duh. Recreator sits down and goes, okay, what if that one person was like this, or that character was like that? How would they react? How does that change the dynamic? And that spawns another idea, then another. The show is bursting with so many unique concepts that takes advantage of its insane premise. The action can be high-octane, turbo-fisto fun, but at the same time, it's a series that's not afraid to just sit down and spend some time chilling with the characters just struggling to live in the world. Does this make up for all the excessive dialogue? No. Even with all this stuff, there's so much of what I like to call anime bullshittery. Characters will just pull a 5-minute exposition dump on why other people are being transported to the real world. How do we fix this? Why the world is coming to a fucking end. And I hate to do this, but girl, this is kind of on you. Half the time when the plot doesn't know where to go, our lovely mage Meteora will suddenly get a bright idea and be like, guys, I have a theory. Go on.
And then just fucking start talking.
Fascinating theory. Do you have any sources?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
The show's trying to explain its own mechanics, and while some of it is cool, a lot of it really did not need to be that complicated. Recreators, looking at you, nobody gives a rat's ass of your PhD level of bullshit you used to explain why anime characters are here and why the world is coming to an end. If you needed to add stakes, you have an OP villain who hates the world. Just give a time limit before her power becomes fully active or some shit. Come on. Look, we're not here for this.
Shut up, bitch!
We're here for this.
Yeah, bro. Let him know. What an interesting concept.
Magane's power makes no sense and is just broken in every way. The final conclusion takes so much suspension of disbelief and it's just anime bullshittery shot up into the fucking stratosphere. But honestly,
anime bullshittery.
The more time passes, the more I've just appreciated what this series tried to do. And watching it again made me rethink some of the things I thought I hated about it. I remember the first time I watched this, I absolutely despised Sota. Sota is a shriveled scrotum of a protagonist.
Oh my god.
He knows the origin of the villain everyone's trying to find out about, and he just does nothing. Doesn't tell anyone, doesn't do anything. The plot goes on standstill just for him. And I remember the first time I watched this, I was fuming. Livid that this Shinji ass motherfucker was taking up valuable screen time when I could be watching a giant robot turbo fist a fucking flying knight. But then you find out the reason for it, and I was like, oh, I think I get it now. Sota isn't a hero like the characters he's standing next to. He's just a normal dude who likes anime. Shy, socially awkward, living with his own trauma, afraid to face the problems in his life head on. Frustratingly afraid to take action, but frustratingly real. He's someone who needs the heroes you see in anime to give him something to aspire to be. And that's when I realized that Recreators is a story about stories. Why is it that fiction exists? Why do we need heroes, villains? Why do our stories require conflicts for our characters to overcome to be interesting? This is something that all the creations in the show have to come to terms with in their own way. Would Guts from Berserk be able to accept what's happened knowing his perseverance inspired thousands to push through their own struggles? Would Olga from Kurino react well knowing that she helped? Never mind. I love stories.
I'm gonna assume help not.
About how much I love stories. And when I saw this series exploring the importance of fiction in our lives, I didn't just appreciate the very original way it went about it, but I also appreciated just how personal it felt to me. And then the show ended on a 4-episode balls to the wall action free-for-all, and I was happy.
Hell yeah.
Recreators is a fan fiction for anyone who's ever created something, a celebration of anime and the culture behind it, a look into the dangers of online toxicity, a boatload of fun, and a love letter to stories themselves.
Damn, this is kind of fire.
A little bloated? Yeah. Is the pacing a bit off? Yeah. But now I've just...
What anime doesn't have one of those?
So specifically speaks to my tastes, even if the execution isn't perfect. A 7 or 8 out of 10 show that appeals to me is, in my opinion, more important than a perfectly crafted 10 out of 10 classic that doesn't. And that's why I'll always choose
I feel that,
like
bro.
Tales of Arise over The Last of Us, Scott Pilgrim over The Godfather. Hell, it's why I'm so addicted to Genshin, even though I know I could clown on this game for fucking days. A show like this was never going to be super popular or go down as a critically acclaimed classic, but it's a series brimming with so many interesting ideas, so many original concepts, so many fun moments that never fail to put a smile on my face, and a core that speaks to my love of fiction. There is no other anime like Recreators, nothing else I can recommend to you. This was a batshit crazy idea for a show, and somehow someone was equally batshit crazy enough to approve it. Give me a choice of a popular, highly acclaimed anime like Jujutsu Kaisen or Recreators, and I choose Recreators every time. We've seen variations of this show before.
No, we have.
Bleach or Yu Yu Hakusho. And
yeah.
No, I'm not calling them the same show, but you know what I mean. Fuck,
yes.
Just look at the beginning of Chainsaw Man right now and tell me the premise and plot structure isn't almost...
Nah, literally. I said the same. I said the same fucking thing, and I got damn near eviscerated. I said Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man are kind of running parallel right now. And they were like, no, they're their own stories. Come on, man. The bullets are the fingers. The bullets are the fingers. A demon goes inside a boy before he's ready. Come on.
There's going to be more My Hero Academias in the future. There's going to be more Narutos in the future.
Yeah.
But there's only ever been one Recreators.
Nah, this shit looks crazy. That was GIGGUK. If anime was real, this is what happened when anime is real. I didn't realize that it was going to be a review of an actual anime, Recreators. I'm not going to lie. The premise of the show sounds absolutely fire because I love, so don't get twisted, like, how do I say this? I love Isakais, right? Isakais are dope, great. But Isakais are literally sometimes copy pasta, copy pasta, copy pasta, copy pasta. OPMC, into regular kid, transformed to another world, OPMC, runs into accidental harm, has to stop everybody, has to stop the demon lord to save the world. That's like 8 out of 10, like 7 out of 10 Isakais follow that exact fucking plot. Let's not lie to ourselves, right? Seeing what this is, I love me an anime that kind of takes a trope but makes its own unique story. And from the moment he explained that, I was like, yo, I'm sold. Why haven't I heard of this? Why has nobody watched it? Why have I never recommended this shit? Never seen it. I don't even think I've ever seen a trailer. Nobody says, yo, you know, it's dope, Recreators. Never, not even once. Hearing him talk about it, I'm like, this is totally something I would watch. And not just watch as a reaction. This is something I feel like I'd watch on my own time. Hearing why it didn't really take off, it makes sense. If you go from action, 5 or 6 episodes of talking, and then you try to bring the action back, not many shows can get away with that. And from what it sounds like he's explaining, they really tried to pull a Steins Gate and get super sciencey and super technical, but it didn't really serve them well, and the dialogue didn't really support it too well. Steins Gate is its own anomaly because not only was it dynamic, interesting, dope characters, but they kept the science good enough to be accurate, but bland enough that you could keep up, to be honest with you. So I feel like when you have a show like this where if they just focused on the fights, they focused on the dynamic stories they're telling of how these anime characters are acclimating into the real world, instead of like he said, the over explanation of why is this going on, because I really feel like, yeah, that's probably where they went wrong. Because it's crazy. Like 4 minutes into this video, I was like, how have I never seen this? I want to see this. I think I'm gonna go out of my way to watch it. Cause yeah, it looks dope. To be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie to you. The shotties look cool, right? I want to see the storyline with the magical girl who has to realize that like, yo, she's causing real damage. I feel like that's a dope fucking storyline. Hearing the one about the gun guy, I think he said Gale, that doesn't sound right. Or Blaze, where they all meet their creator. Can you imagine if you could meet your god and your god says, oh yeah, I made you because I was depressed and I was on a bunch of pills and I was struggling, and you just happened to be the one thing that I wrote that people loved, and you're just like, so you don't love me? You didn't make me out of love? I wasn't a spark of inspiration? I didn't come from the greatest moment of your life? And your creator's just like, nah, actually, I hate you, bro. I hate everything that I wrote about you. I'm glad that it made me rich, but you were never my passion. Like, that could fuck with you, bro. That could fuck with you. You know what I mean? This is such an interesting concept for a show. It really is. That's why there's like a couple shows right now that are running that really are sparking my interest is Eminence in Shadow and Uncle from Another World. I mentioned both of those because although again both of those are isekais, right? They have the interesting aspect of Uncle from Another World. He got isekai'd, he came back, and now he's living life. You know what I mean? I thought that was such an interesting aspect, but also that shit is funny as hell. Eminence in Shadow is different. Usually somebody accidentally, spoilers for all this shit. Somebody accidentally gets isekai'd. In this case, he's like, no, I've been waiting to get isekai'd, bro. I spent my whole life, my whole regular normie life training, preparing, praying that I get isekai'd, and it's finally happened. And it's like, oh shit, we're gonna see what happens when you get what you want. I love the premise of telling a story that hasn't been told yet, and Recreators goes right up that alley for me. I normally don't talk like this on these reactions. I'm normally laughs and whatnot. I don't really have a technical breakdown of why I like something or why I feel like I would like it, but I really truly believe like I'm gonna have to go watch this Recreators. I want to see it for myself, because the storytelling that you could do with it, with anime characters in real life acclimating to real life, and then their god is literally available to them to talk to. Can you imagine if you got a chance to talk to God? Just think about it. That's what I'm imagining. I think that's what really captured me when he was telling the story. Can you imagine if you really had a chance to talk to God, the person who created you, and like they didn't say any of the things that they tell you that you thought you were gonna hear? Bro. This seems dope. I think I'm definitely gonna try and explore it if it's not too long. Comment down below. Did you watch Recreators? What did you think of it? Is it really worth the watch? And how many episodes is it? Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. If it's over like 12 or 13 episodes, I'm not watching that bitch. If it's 12 or 13, I'll do it. If it's over that, I ain't gonna watch it, man. Maybe I'll add it to my Twitch exclusive anime reaction list. That's what I'll probably do. Add it to the Twitch exclusive anime reaction list, and I'll just watch it on Twitch, and that way I don't have to worry about putting it on YouTube, and because I watch it on Twitch, I can just double up and put it on Patreon. Dope. That's what I'm gonna do. Comment down below if you want to watch it. Let me know. If you made this far and you haven't already, drop a sub, drop a like. Whole thing's gonna be on Patreon, but also here on YouTube for you guys. I want you guys to go to Patreon so you can check out those Twitch exclusive reactions. If you see my videos, make sure you click on them and watch them through. I need to gauge the amount of interest in these kind of videos, so it's really important to me that you guys drop a like and a comment so I know to keep churning these out and that you guys enjoy them. Otherwise, I'll just move on to other content, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm your man behind the camera, and as always, never forget, stay Stay nasty, y'all.
You wanna go? Oh, right, I'm really fucking shaking, bro.